So if you're watching this video, you've got to a situation where you will know what the property is. You may not know where it is. And I think Nick and Nicola might be able to help us, and Norwin actually, to tell us a little bit about the beautiful location that is Serta, and its proximity to the international airport and so on. So could we have a bit of background on that, this delightful location?
We are in a very rural area, between almost exactly between Porto and Lisbon. We're about 60 miles inland from the coast. It is a hilly area, and it is very beautiful as a consequence of that. It has lots of things, rivers and gorges, and the Zezere River runs through our area as well. The town of Serta is the biggest town in the municipality here, but still not a big population. There are restaurants, and there are plenty of bars. There's good supermarkets, and you have access to most things. The public transport between Serta and Lisbon and Porto is very good. You can get a direct bus from Serta to Lisbon or Serta to Porto, or you can get a bus to Coimbra or Pombal and catch high-speed train through to Porto or Lisbon. The cost of going by bus is about 15 euros. To go by train from Pombal or Coimbra, it is about 15 to 20 euros, so very reasonable. There are also plenty of taxis in the area. If people are interested in local schools, there are some very good schools here as well. The health system is extremely good, and if you register with the local health centre, we've had access to an English-speaking doctor, and on the occasions when we've had to use the health system, it's been extremely good. We love it here. The cost of living is significantly cheaper than Northern Europe. For instance, you can get a very good, excellent quality cup of coffee for well under €1. A glass of wine is under €1. And the wines here are exceptional. We rarely buy a bottle of wine which is more than €5 a bottle, and that is a high quality reserva at the very least. So quality of life is pretty good here, not bad at all.
That's brilliant. That's a lovely pen portrait. And I've been to Serta. I think it's wonderful. I think we went to a yoga festival that was set out along the river, and they even had a beer yoga event. It's a beautiful setting location. Town is really wonderful. So you know who you're dealing with here. It's Nick and Nicola, who are the landowners. And currently, this is subject to checking, obviously, but just for a guide at the moment, I'm looking at 49,049 for the land, the plot of land, which is 58,000 euros. Nick and Nicola are the owners of the land, and Norwin, effectively project manager of the development that we're also talking about, that you can see in the particulars here. And it's probably best to check for the up-to-date figures on the cost of that build, which will be a T2 detached house, which in Portugal means 2 bedrooms, basically, in this delightful location that's been spoken about, with olive trees and fertile land, the opportunity for a borehole, so you know you can connect easily to mains, to the electricity, to mains water. And what's for somebody who might work from home, Norwin, as somebody who lives in the area, have you got fibre over there? Is the internet connection good? In
Serta, you will definitely get fibre optics, and at a very high speed, and it's a good system.
So great quality of life, as you've outlined there. An excellent value, I think, for what we're talking about in terms of purchasing the land and the development that you can find out more about from the listing. There is something of an urgency to honour the current planning licence. Is that right, Norwin, that we need to make people aware of?
It runs until May next year. Basically, the property does not have to be finished, but it has to be started. And if the property is started, there is then a 2-year time limit on completing the project or finishing the house. You can get an extension with the council for a reasonable fee for 1 more year, taking you to May 4. After that, they will not give another extension. It would have to be a new project.
Okay, that's useful and good to know. People may wonder, this sounds like an amazing place. Nick and Nicola, why are you selling? Why don't you want to live there yourselves?
Well, we wanted to, and we've been involved in this for a number of years to get it to this point. Unfortunately, family circumstances at the moment sort of dictate that we can't take it forward. So we're sort of disappointed in that, but we do think it's a great opportunity for someone else to come and live in a great place, because it is absolutely beautiful, and Serta is a lovely place to be.
I'm sorry I asked you that question with that answer. So your loss and the plot twist here personally is definitely someone else's gain, because this hasn't been an easy process to secure, and loads of hard work has already been done now by the three of you, I think.
Yeah, I think we got it to a point where now it's ready, and hopefully someone can come and sort of make the most of it and really enjoy it. So that would make us happy.
Okay, excellent. What haven't I asked you that I should ask you? What sort of things come up that people ask about the area, about the build? Any of you?
I suppose there's something in the description of the land or what we were attracted to, because the land looks as if it's in, what's the description, a valley or in a meadow. It looks as if it's very rural, but for me, I wanted to be connected at least to some life. I wanted to see neighbours. I didn't want them right beside me. So it looks beautiful. It looks very rural, and you come down into it, but actually 10 minutes away, less than 10 minutes away, Serta town. The supermarket's less than 5 minutes drive probably. So you have everything. It looks like you're very rural. It's very beautiful. It's very scenic, but life is just around the corner.
That's really good to know. The other thing that people might ask is, can I build even more on the site? Can I make a little Airbnb? Can I make a granny annex? That sort of thing. I think there is some scope for a small building. Is that right, Norman? But not a major development, because it is a big piece of land after all.
Yeah, that's it. The project is just for this one house, and we've been told by the camera that it would be very difficult to put another property on the land, other than there is a ruin on the terraces, which is about 30 square meters, which can be built on that footprint, but it can only be to 1 story. So it could be basically an additional bedroom with ensuite and a little sit-out area. But that would be the extent of the further building that you could do there.
Okay, and the principal building has to be built first before anything like that could be looked at. Given that there is quite a big piece of land, and maintenance of land is very important in central Portugal, I understand you're part of a cooperative that, and you're connected with people that can take care of keeping the land to the minimum that's required in terms of, land maintenance and fire hazards and those sorts of things. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, the upkeep of that land.
No. I mean, basically, the grass is cut about twice a year in the meadow area, and then it is where the bank is, the terraces are, that is maintained by another person about twice a year as well. The picking of the olives, well, I mean, there are groups of people who get together and help each other pick olives, but that would be something that we would consider as well. So,
that's delightful. That's part of the idyll. Yes, go on, Nick. Sorry.
As long as lunch is provided with a few bottles of wine once we've completed, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, that's a deal. I think I don't. Who would turn that down? Nick, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Norwin's has built up because he gets to know a lot of people. He's got an extensive network of people, so that would make it easier for people moving into the area, because Norwin has known a lot of people with a lot of different stories, and he's very good at connecting. To his credit, so if people are thinking of making the move, because it can be a bit daunting, Norway's someone who is good to know.
That's a really good point, isn't it? So it does sound like the ideal place to create this, dream life in central Portugal, and to have somebody on the doorstep who can point you in the right direction from time to time in the form of Norway's a great bonus as well. Thanks all of you, really appreciate that. If people want to get in touch, the details will be alongside the video here. So really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.